Hey Nerwalls, I'm your host Luke Nerwall and welcome back to another weight loss video. Let's dive right in. I'm having trouble with the mental despair at how little of food I can eat. Often when I try and calorie count to reduce my weight, the number one thing that throws me off my diet is realizing how many calories are in the food I like, and thus how I have to either replace them with things I don't like or eat way less of them. I have an emotional connection to food as a source of comfort and regulation, and as such, realizing I can only eat one sandwich instead of two sometimes nearly breaks me into tears. It sounds pathetic, which I don't disagree with, but in the moment, it feels all the more real and brutal, and often I can't handle that stress on top of my existing mental state. Has anyone experienced this and found a way to reach a place where this despair stops? So, I have found that this is a symptom of a bigger issue. In my case, I feel like I don't get enough sleep, I don't have enough money, I'm too stressed, etc. And one of the very few things I enjoy currently is the food I eat. And if that is taken away from me, it's not that my body physically needs it, but that my emotional control response feels robbed when I'm already robbed in so many other ways. As I reduce my stress and gain control in other areas of my life, it becomes so much easier for me to not overeat and feel so unsatisfied. I hope this helps. Okay, I'm not going to say that I understand, since nearly breaks me into tears would be an exaggeration in my case. However, I love cooking, and sometimes when I cook something that turns out amazing beyond my expectations, I want to eat the whole pot. Unfortunately, I am short, so I can't really eat too much of anything without going over my calorie limit. Either way, here's some things that help me. Serving a small portion, i.e. half of what my normal portion would be. That way, I can get a second one. It's a simple psychological trick, but very effective. Eating slowly. Enjoy every bite. Try to identify the flavor of every ingredient in what I'm eating. This will let me enjoy the food fully and give my body time to send its satiety signals. Wait at least 10 minutes after I finish my meal before getting something more. Same as the previous point, this gives me time to understand if I'm still hungry or if I'm eating out of pure gluttony, in my case. I don't comfort eat, but I do stress eat. It helps to be real with myself and understanding that I'm looking for food to cope with stress, not to eat something delicious. Once I've come to terms with that, I can more easily choose to have a fruit or a veggie, and I've learned to always have steamed cauliflower on hand on stressful days. Or even better, make a plan to work on what's making me stressed. And last but not least, I think you need to start challenging yourself a bit. I mean, a sandwich, really? Is it that delicious that it's worth to eat two? This kind of rationalization helps me prioritize what, when, and how much I eat. If something is not really that tasty, I won't spend my valuable calories on it. End of discussion. Hope any of the above can help. Therapy is probably a decent idea, but I do have 3 tips to add. First, learn how to make food more filling. Can you add a salad on the side? Can you add beans to the super chili? If you up your cooking game, you'll be able to eat way more food and will be more likely to stick to your new lifestyle. Eating at home is way easier than eating out, so pack a lunch if you can. Second, reframe the way that you think about food. Food is fuel. You can eat out and still enjoy a nice meal. I had a lovely meal at my favorite steakhouse last night, and because we split the entree, did not come home feeling full and miserable. But eating stuff like waffles for breakfast is not something I enjoy doing anymore. It doesn't give me good energy for my day, so I skip most desserts entirely. If you can reframe that second sandwich as something that is not good for you and really pay attention to how it influences your energy levels and how you feel, then you'll have an easier time eating good food. Finally, find new ways to treat yourself. Food is an okay treat, but you know what else makes me happy? Long walks, pursuing my hobby, watching a movie with my partner, a good book. The more you refocus on how other activities can provide you with comfort, the easier it is to pass on a bag of Doritos. This should become much easier as you get used to the foods that you don't like and start seeing some results, even small results. Over time, this will become a positive feedback loop, and you will want to do better every day. What helped me a lot was getting a Fitbit and logging everything I ate. On the app, you get a visual of how you're doing throughout the day. I love food. It just makes me really happy. I still eat fast food as often as I get the chance. I just research the heck out of it and make sure that I can fit it in my target. I went on the internet and made a list and have a handy meal directory that I refer to all the time. Yes, there are times I've had to stop and make a choice. Instead of getting a large meal, I get a burger. Instead of a certain pizza, I choose one that's not as exciting and eat only half. I get tacos, but without all the toppings. Over years now of doing this, it works really well for me. I don't feel like I'm missing out, because I'm not. But it takes time to adjust, and I still get that little voice that wants me to upsize and add on and eat all of the food. But I welcome the panic. I say, "Hi, panic," and then I give myself a moment of clarity and make a decision. And then I always end up content with not overeating. If I can do it, you can do it. You can eat 2 sandwiches, but you just might not be in a deficit that particular day, and will add a day to your goal date. I've been at this for a year, and I was thinking about getting a sandwich yesterday. I can eat half of one, but not a whole one, and that made me feel a little sad until I realized that when I overeat now, I feel extremely sick, and I might be sick 12 to 24 hours. One great thing about getting my habits and portion sizes under control is that I realize now that I had pushed my body way past the limit with the quantity of food I was eating, and I just ignored the painful indigestion that followed it. Now, I avoid indigestion like the plague, and you couldn't pay me to overeat. I recently got diagnosed with some food allergies and felt the same. It helped me to focus on the things I can eat. I look at vegetables, whole grains, and vitamin-rich proteins to plan out the meals I can eat. It's a lot of prep, but my food is tasty and healthy, and my body is healthy now too. Totally worth it. I hope you can find the things you like. It'll be easier once you find your rhythm. One resource I found helpful was Skinny Taste. They have a lot of low-calorie recipes that taste great, and they also offer recipes for allergy-sensitive people, if that helps. Honestly, I get it. It can be really hard. Like others have said, therapy may help. I found that finding hobbies and things to do that aren't centered around food helps, but that's easier said than done. For the food side of things, clear broth-based soups with lots of vegetables, miso soup and large quantities of baby lettuce, and whatever you are eating are much lower calorie and higher in volume than a single sandwich. Having soup, even if it's just from a packet with your sandwich, will make it feel much more like a meal. And drink at least 2 liters of water a day. I know people roll their eyes at that suggestion, but it really helps you feel fuller and more satisfied and generally healthier, I think. And it helps with mindless snacking. Am I really hungry, or should I just drink some water first? Good luck. Something that helps me with the sadness of only having a small portion of food I like is to back it up with another bowl of high-volume, low-calorie food. For example, I'm seriously sad that I can't eat 2 chicken thighs because for some reason one is a massive 380 calorie dump and 2 would be half my maintenance calories for an entire day. But you know how small chicken thighs look. Instead of eating one sad thigh, I back it up with a big side of broccoli and roasted carrots, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and a bowl of miso soup. 30 calories, but so delicious. I also have my favorite tea, which I will drink 2 cups of during the meal. Now that one thigh isn't so miserable to look at. Are there any fruits, veggies, or salads you like? I found just buying more fruit, including fruit salad bowls that are already cut and easier to eat, made it easier for me to just snack on fruit. Maybe for the first couple of weeks, instead of focusing on reducing your portions of the food you like, you could focus on eating a fruit or salad with every meal, and try different ones to find ones that you really like. Then, once you start to work on reducing portions of what you do like, you'll have less caloric foods you enjoy and are used to eating, so you won't feel so deprived. Keep yourself busy. That's what I do. With my workout routine, school, and other stuff, I don't have much time to eat more than I should. Plus, I don't bring more food to school with me than I need, so I can't eat more even if I wanted to. Find a hobby. Draw, read, go for a run or a walk. Plan out a workout routine. Also, find healthier and more whole alternatives to the food that you can't eat that much of. You don't have to say goodbye to them, but eat them more rarely. Only the first few weeks or months are hard. It will never be truly easy, and you will have difficult days, but it will get significantly easier once you get used to it. And that brings us to the end of the video, Narwhals. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please tap subscribe to join our awesome community, the Narwhals, and for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track. And here's our featured Narwhal of the day. 15 kilograms down. There's still a long way to go, but I never thought I'd get here.